So from this day forward, I promise to honor his name and our union. I promise to cherish you and make you smile even through the darkest moments, to pray with you and be by your side. For every trial, I strive to be the best husband I can be, and be a friend. And from today until my last breath with you by my side.
Your love has shown me what it means to be truly vulnerable, to open my heart and let someone in completely. You see me for who I am and love me not despite my flaws but because of them. With God's help, I promise to strive to be the best version of myself, not just for me but for you and for the life we are all building together. I commit to loving you as Christ loved us, with a love that is patient, kind, and enduring. I promise to seek God's guidance in all that we do, and to build our marriage on the foundation of his truth and love. And you owe me $1 because you cried. Insert laughter.
As you have given and taken reins together, we now pronounce you man and wife. You may give and salute the bride and give her a little kiss. You get the gist. I think I did okay. I tried to do a thing because of copyright and stuff.
I look good. Tonight we are here to celebrate us. And I look good. You alright. Long story short, we just we appreciate everyone that came out tonight. We appreciate you guys for allowing this union to be here, and we love everyone in here. Sean, I've known you for 30 years. I love you, bro. Badu, known you for 30 years too. I'm half Haitian because of you. All right. I love you too. I got a bunch of other boys in here. I love y'all like brothers. All right. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right. All right, great, thank you. Thank you, every single person, for coming. We really, really appreciate it. Anyone who's planned a wedding knows how easy it is to plan it. And I want to thank all of you guys for RSVPing so early, because that didn't piss me off. And I want to thank all of you guys for actually showing up, because showing up is really something that's really important to me. So I really appreciate all of you guys for showing up. Everyone who's in here is somebody that we really love. So we really.
Because I remember our first day, you walked through the door, and I was like, damn. She alright. I was like, she's super thick.
Till death do us humiliate. Picture this. A stunning bride walks down the aisle, her heart pounding with excitement. The music intoxicates the atmosphere, all eyes are on her, until the groom pulls out a prank, makes an off-color joke, or decides that this is the perfect time to showcase his funny side. Suddenly, the magic evaporates, replaced by secondhand embarrassment, awkward chuckles, and a sinking feeling in the bride's stomach. We've all seen the viral videos, grooms shoving cake into their bride's face with excessive force, making a distasteful joke in their vows, or even pranking their wives during the first dance. These moments might get a few laughs, but they also leave us wondering, does this man actually love his wife? And why, on God's good green earth, does this keep happening? Today, we're discussing grooms embarrassing their brides, what it reveals about modern relationships, and how brides can prevent their big day from turning into a viral moment for all the wrong reasons. So buckle up, because we're about to do an expose on the trend that might be more serious than it looks.
I look good. Tonight we are here to celebrate us. And I look good. You alright. Long story short, we just want. Sean, I've known you for 30 years. I love you, bro. Badu, known you for 30 years too. I love you too. That's all I'm gonna say.
This man is so interested in looking cool in front of his friends that he doesn't mind sacrificing his new bride to do so. You're going to say that you look good not once but twice, but then you're going to look at her with her hair and her makeup and her beautiful dress and say you look alright. Then you're going to take the time to shout each of them out. But we have no words for the bride? And then when you thought she was about to take the microphone from you, you snatch it away from you like, don't you dare embarrass me in front of my homeboys. It's the same thing with the cake smashing and the same thing with the embarrassing vows. It's all about performing for the audience of men in the crowd. I'm not a simp for marrying her because look how I talk to her. I'm not a simp for marrying her because look how I treat her. Like, it's always about the men in the crowd. That's why they do it. You don't have to be the groom that's moved to tears and bawling his eyes out watching his new bride come down the aisle with her father. But who you also don't have to be is the kind of groom that's too cool to tell everybody that he thinks his wife is beautiful on her wedding day after knowing how much time, effort, and money she put into doing so. You also don't have to be the groom that shouts out his best friends in his toast but doesn't mention his own wife once.
Sometimes I look at my timeline and it feels like I have laid every brick meticulously, beautifully. Like every video has been hand chosen for me, yours truly. And then sometimes I look at that same FYP and say, this video was chosen by Lucifer himself. Because why did I see a beautiful bride? She happens to be Haitian, gorgeous chocolate bride. Her dress is made, is custom made from Nigeria. She's standing there, her and her groom at the reception. They are acknowledging all the people that came to see them. The man looks into the crowd, and rather than thank everyone and celebrate their love, this man pats himself on the chest, says, I look good, looks at his future wife and says, you look aight. TikTok, fix my algorithm right now. Mettez le bac, jonte joigny. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. And it makes me even more irritated that she's Haitian. Like, excuse me. One thing men never lack for is audace.
And to that bride, they got embarrassed by her husband in front of her family and friends. Let me hold your hand while I say this. That man don't love you. If you guys haven't seen the video where this husband, not only at the wedding ceremony, but at the reception, gets on the mic and expresses how much he looks good at the wedding, to then turn his thick ass neck to his wife and tell her, you look aight. He said it in his wedding vows. He said it at the reception. Gave a shout out to his homeboys of 30 years and not have not one word to say about your wife. Like, is you cool? Like,
No, y'all, no. Just wait. Just wait 1 minute. I know y'all saw that video of that couple getting married. They at the reception. It's time for them to give special remarks. And he gonna take the mic talking about, I look good. You alright. I would have took my hand and smacked the back of that pack of hot dogs that he got resting on the back of that neck. That professor clump he got resting right on the back of that cranium. He would have been single that day, unmarried, divorced, dealt with. The way the men in my family would have blessed him after that reception. I'm almost willing to bet that that marriage, that wedding, that day would have become a funeral. It's like, how dare you have the audacity to stand up there with that double XL Suge Knight looking suit and embarrass your wife like that?
Have you all had the unfortunate displeasure of seeing the video of the groom who was giving a speech on his wedding day with his wife by his side? He literally goes on to compliment himself more than once, saying how good he looks at his bride, looking absolutely beautiful, and tells her she looks aight.
as if this is a time to fucking joke. And then proceeds to shout out each one of his homeboys and appreciate them for the roles that they've played in his life. I don't believe men should speak at weddings. I never really did. Even when they get to doing the vows, it gets interesting. You stuck with me through everything. Like, I honestly believe that that particular man is probably already embarrassing enough, but the fact that he could not even control himself on the wedding day, and who gave him the mic? Who said he can give a speech? I'm confused. Men really love their homeboys. They do everything for their homeboys. They do it for the respect of their homeboys. They don't want to look like they a simp. And now you at my wedding, so I really can't look like I'm a simp. Like, I don't even understand why men marry women, why they act like they like women, when really all they want to do is hang out with their homeboys all day, be on the game with their homeboys all day, go outside to a bar with their homeboys all night. Like, if it's the homeboy is the wife, then just say that.
I don't even know where to begin. But one thing is, I like to look at people's body language when they're saying something. And if you notice, when he said, "Tonight we are here to celebrate us," he dropped his wife's hand and pointed to himself. That will tell you everything you need to know about this future husband. It will be all about him, sis. Proceed carefully.
Do y'all remember the groom in the purple suit when he was reading his vows? He told his wife, "When I first met you, I just wanted to hit." Y'all, now they got Pooh Bear up there talking about, "I look good. He look alright." He talking about his wife. Where do y'all be meeting these men at? So I could tell everybody never ever go there. Where do y'all be meeting these men at? And whenever y'all meet these men, why are y'all staying there and entertaining these men? At some point, you just have to blame the women. At some point, you just have to blame the women. Because I don't care how pissy the date water is, it ain't that damn bad.
Just watched their wedding ceremony and I couldn't tell you how cringe it was. It was embarrassing. Starting from when the guy was exchanging vows with his wife, he was saying things like, "Oh, when I saw her for the first time, her body was so thick." Like, how's that even respectful? You're supposed to be exchanging vows. Tell us who she's been to you and, what to expect in the future. We don't want to know how thick she was looking. Who cares? Anyways, let's fast forward the embarrassing moment to another embarrassing moment. This was the wedding reception, right? When he had the microphone and he was supposed to be thanking the guest and letting us know how gorgeous his wife looks. You know what he said? He compliments himself twice and did not compliment his wife. The wife then tries to get the microphone from him, like, "What's wrong with you, dude?" He's like, then she goes ahead and rolls her eyes. Imagine rolling your eyes at your husband in front of the camera, in front of all your guests, on your wedding day. Anyways, finally, when she gets the microphone, she compliments herself. Remember that compliment that her husband didn't give her? When he looked at her and said, "She all right." She gave herself the compliment that she deserves. She said she looks beautiful. Her dress is gorgeous. She thanked the vendors, thanked her family, and thanked all the guests that showed up for the wedding. That is what sensible people do when they pick up the microphone. When it's time to say, "Thank you for coming," you just don't say, "I look good." And that's all that he did. That was so embarrassing. When the photographer or maybe the couple eventually post the video, the highlights of the video, a lot of women will say, I want that for me. God, when? I don't wish that for anybody, if you ask me. I'm looking at them and I'm thinking, if this is what their wedding ceremony looks like, what would their relationship have been like? And now that they're married, what is there to expect? I hope they last more than 1 year. I can't believe I missed this part of the wedding.
I wouldn't be this cute if it wasn't for Haiti, but also.
He rolled his eyes like, "You are not all that." Here's the thing, yeah. When a man competes with you for attention, he's not your partner. He's your opponent. The marriage is going to be more about who is more important, who gets the more attention, who gets the more compliment. Even when people are giving it to her, he's going to want to divert it back to himself. Like, Have you seen me? Every opportunity he gets, he's going to want to make sure she knows her place. It's going to always be who's the main character in the marriage. I feel sorry for sis. The one day that all eyes are on you. If he can't let you have that, what is he going to let you have? Every win she has, he'll downplay it. Every compliment she gets, he will redirect it to himself. Every time she glows and looks hot, he will get jealous of it. Look at how she looks. She's obviously going to get more compliment than him. He won't let her have it. He will make her feel guilty for how good she looks. That is scary though. When I say women marry rubbish, this is another perfect example of women marry rubbish.
There's a lot of things going on in this video. I don't have a proper order, so I'll just spitball at you all of the things that I got from here. The psychology of public humiliation and the whole boys will be boys, I think is a deeper issue. At first glance, you might think, oh, he's just being playful. He's a bit cheeky, that's all. It's nothing harmful, you know what I mean? Sorry. But when you peel back the layers, this behavior hints at something much darker. So let's try to break it down. Power and control disguised as humor. Some men feel the need to establish dominance, even in a setting that's meant to celebrate their union. By embarrassing their bride, they subtly assert control, reminding everyone, including her, who the funny one or the leader in the relationship is. Then there's emotional immaturity. Many grooms who pull this stance don't fully grasp the weight of marriage. If a man prioritizes getting a laugh over making his wife feel cherished on their wedding day, I don't know about you, but to me, it suggests he isn't emotionally mature enough for the commitment he just made. Then there's insecurity and jealousy. Weddings are heavily bride-centric, and some men, believe it or not, struggle with this. And instead of celebrating their partner, they find ways to redirect attention to themselves. This could stem from jealousy, a deep-seated fear of irrelevance, or even resentment towards their bride's moment of glory. And I personally do not subscribe to this way of thinking because I think maybe it's because I'm a Christian, but I believe that the day is for both of you. You are both making this commitment. It's both. I actually don't know how it became just the bride's day, but it's important for us to go back to our roots, because if we make this about both of us, maybe some of these people will not have the need to do funny things. The next one is red pill influence and the pick me groom. Let's be honest, the rise of the red pill ideology has not been that great on society at large, because it teaches men that women are manipulative and need to be put in their place. This has made its way into the culture of weddings as well, and some grooms, consciously or subconsciously, will buy into the idea that making a woman feel special means that they're losing some type of leverage in the relationship, and that is simply not true at all. In fact, hold on, who are men even trying to impress? Because it's so clear that this man stood up and he shouted out his boys. I did not hear a single thing about their parents, the deputy parents, other people in their families or friends who have helped raise them or make them the people that they've now turned out to be. To be fair, the video isn't like the full wedding video, so maybe that stuff was cut off and we're only seeing just the bad parts. But it would have still been nice to hear that from his little speech. Instead, he bigged up a couple of his homeboys and called it a day. Like, what? There's an uncomfortable truth in modern masculinity. Many men aren't trying to impress their women. Instead, they're seeking the approval of other men. The concept of locker room talk extends beyond private spaces and into public forums now, where men parade their cars, their fashion, and even their partners, not for love, but for bragging rights. The desire to be validated by their peers often outweighs the need to nurture genuine emotional connections with their partners. If men truly wanted to impress their women, they would listen, support, uplift, rather than compete. Instead, social media has created an environment where the ultimate measure of a man's worth isn't how happy he makes his partner, but how enviable he appears to his male audience. So it begs the question, does he even like her? This is where things start to get uncomfortable. Because if a groom is willing to embarrass, mock, or humiliate his bride on their wedding day, a day that is supposed to be the happiest of their lives, what does that say about his love for her? If a woman humiliated her groom during the ceremony, people would instantly call her disrespectful and cruel. So why is it just a joke when men do it? Could this behavior indicate a subconscious dislike for women in general? I don't know, but I have to wonder. Is this a manifestation of the idea that men feel the need to knock women down a peg, even when they should be lifting them up? Statistically speaking, women initiate most of the divorces worldwide, globally, on every single continent. Could this kind of wedding behavior be an early indicator as to why they end up jumping ship? So, how do you avoid becoming a wedding day meme? To be honest, the long and short of it is you really can't. You are at the mercy of your partner. Whether you're male or female, you just have to hope and pray and wish upon wishes and hope upon hope that you've actually picked the right partner for yourself and that they will not do something crazy on your day, because you just genuinely do not know. You never will know, truly. If you're a bride to be, here's how you can protect yourself from being humiliated on your special day. Have a pre-wedding talk. Clearly express your expectations and boundaries regarding jokes and pranks. Assess his sense of humor. If he constantly makes jokes at your expense, consider this a major red flag. It's not just how he is. Sis, he might not like you. Watch out for past behavior. How does he treat you in public settings? If he has a history of embarrassing you in front of others, it won't magically stop on your wedding day. Be realistic. Make sure you have a support system. If things go left, you need friends and family who will back you and not laugh along, because that's really frustrating. How I know it's nervous laugh, but like, guys, come on. We don't have to chuckle at things when we don't have to do that. Be willing to walk away. If your fiance shows signs of disrespect before the wedding, don't assume marriage is going to fix it, because I promise you, I guarantee you that it will most likely not. Just like how babies do not fix anything, it is up to the certain individual to want to do better and care enough to do better. Dear grooms, here's why women are more likely to file for divorce. You guys who like to pull stunts like this may think you're just having fun, but here's what you're actually doing. You're destroying trust, because women want to feel safe, and public humiliation shatters that sense of security. You are showing a lack of empathy. A good husband prioritizes his wife's emotions over a fleeting joke, and I shouldn't have to say that, but here we are. You are indicating future disrespect. If you don't respect her on your wedding day, when will you respect her, broski? You're setting a precedent for the marriage. So if this is how you treat her in public, how is she supposed to believe you're going to treat her any better in private? You're feeding into gender resentment as well. When men feel the need to humble or degrade their wives, it creates a long-term resentment that often leads to divorce. So if you do not want to end up being a statistic, it starts from day dot while you are dating, but even just as important, on your wedding day. Because you guys act like you've got her there now. Like there's nothing she can do about it. And so now you can run amok. Just like how you also feel like if you impregnate her, she's not going to leave because nobody wants to be a single mother. So now you can move mad. Don't do that. Create happy homes. And while we're talking about this whole wedding structure, wedding vows are actually more important than just ceremonial words. I don't know if a lot of you know that. You look like you know it. Sometimes you talk like you know it, but you do not behave like you know it. These wedding vows are the foundation of the marriage. They hold weight, and they serve as promises that should be upheld through the highs and the lows of life together. In a world where relationships are often taken lightly, vows remind us that marriage isn't just a fleeting commitment, it is a lifelong bond. So if we want stronger marriages, we need to return to the essence of those vows. They aren't just poetic phrases, they are the blueprint of a union built on trust, love, and perseverance. The other thing that was happening in this video is the groom seemed to put his woman down for whatever reason. It's not very clear as to why he was rolling his eyes when she said that she's very beautiful because she comes from Haiti. I, 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 I really don't understand it. I don't know what, if it was like funny inside joke, but then she didn't look impressed at his speech either. So maybe it's not an inside joke. I don't know what was going on, but it looked like the groom was deliberately trying to put her down, and it doesn't make sense. What you should know is a man who constantly criticizes his partner's appearance or success isn't operating from a place of strength. He's actually acting from a place of deep personal inadequacy. Psychologists suggest that men who belittle their partners often suffer from fragile egos and a need to establish dominance in areas where they feel threatened. Instead of building up the woman in their life, they seek to diminish her and ensure that she never outshines them. For the woman involved, however, the consequences are profound. Over time, constant put downs erode self esteem and lead to self doubt. It fosters an unhealthy dynamic where she begins to question her worth, not just in the relationship, but in all aspects of life. What starts as subtle criticism often morphs into emotional abuse and creating a cycle of dependency where she seeks validation from the very person tearing her down. So if you are in that situation, sis, I don't like divorces, but you need to skedaddle. You need to get out of there. And if you're the man who is doing this, believe me, jokes hurt people in a deep, profound way. Just because she's not saying that this is not okay, and I understand you, that's not always your problem, because how are you supposed to know if you've crossed a boundary if the person who's supposed to set the boundary doesn't say anything? However, we're also grown-ups, so use your critical thinking. Just because she hasn't said that joke is very damaging to her, you can read body language. You know, if this was said to you, how would you feel? And even if you were okay with it, remember that people are different. So do better, because you're the one who wants to marry this person. Why wouldn't you want to treat them really well? Do better. I will also say though, with all of this being said, as a podcaster or a YouTuber and a netizen, sis, let's really talk, because I think we're also part of the problem. We as netizens are very entitled and we have our judgment unchecked most often than not. With every uploaded video, a new jury of self-appointed critics emerges, dissecting relationships they know nothing about. Viewers, empowered by anonymity, feel entitled to comment on people's lives, marriages, and personal struggles, making sweeping judgments based on a few seconds or minutes of content. Let's be honest, we do not all have the full idea of really what's going on. But that doesn't stop us from sharing our 2 cents as if we are God Himself. This entitlement has dangerous effects. It fuels unrealistic expectations, forcing individuals into performative relationships, and even influences real life breakups. Instead of consuming content with nuance, many operate under the assumption that what they see is the full picture, never considering for one moment that they're merely watching a curated slice of reality. So as you can see from these clips, the wedding wasn't all bad. You would think that from beginning to end, it was just crazy and horrendous and horrible. But if you actually pay attention to the groom's face and body language and mannerisms, he looks like he had a very good time at his wedding day, and it looks like everybody had a fantastic time. That being said, it's also possible that because obviously the cameras are rolling, and you know that this is a special day, people are not going to sit and simmer into their actual feelings. They're going to naturally try to brush it away so they can have a good time because they know this is a celebration. But if we do play devil's advocate for a second and put that to the side and say that what we actually saw was them genuinely enjoying and making good memories and actually having fun fully, firmly, and fearlessly, then we're wrong for saying all of these things that we're saying. And it's important to constantly remember that. But I mean, let's be honest here. We don't always need to read the whole book to know its genre. Sometimes you can see the plot a mile away. No, we are not God, and we don't know the future. However, the very same God has blessed us with recorded, remembered, and shared human history. We can use that history to judge ourselves and make fairly accurate hypotheses on where a storyline is going. And this wedding video causes us to naturally assume that this is a one-way ticket to a life of misery. It's not a good look. It's just not looking very cute at all. But like I said, there are other parts of this video that looks amazing and envy-worthy. So it's up to each individual person to figure out where their boundary lie. And that's why I've made this video, not to judge them, but to talk to my sisters, especially my little sisters, so that we can make better decisions in the generations to come. Because the other ones, it's not like I've given up on my generation and above, but like, let's hope that the kids will do better than us. So for instance, with personal boundaries, me 5 years ago would have probably been like the good sister Lily here. But the me you hear today, Sophia, over my dead, God forbid, may he bid it yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Because this looks like a trench I do not want. Please, my Lord, let this bitter cup pass from me. I am tired, even just by watching him. I don't want it. I don't want it. What I will not do, however, is attack Lily for the decisions she has made. We all choose our paths, and if that doesn't work out for her, at least humans are adaptable, right? And she can restart. I mean, I don't know at this point. She's already gotten married, she's already here. And speaking of her already being married and already being here, check out what she had to say to the rest of us for sticking our noses in her business.
Hi, so that's me. I know y'all have seen the video everywhere, and guys, it was literally a joke. That wasn't even the toast. That was the end of the night where we were thanking everyone for coming. The toasts were a lot earlier in the day. I mean, not the day, at the reception, and all the think pieces. I get the concern, but this not it. Like, why didn't they post this?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this grand and glorious occasion. You know, the groom is about to melt, but we're going to hold him up. I said, Andre, you're going to make it through this. But you know, it's so important.
Whoever went on YouTube, found my wedding video and posted it, only posted that clip, but didn't post what I just showed you before. Okay.
I will say that most of the times when husbands go viral online, their women actually do come and back them up, even if their behavior is diabolical. They will always come through. I don't know if it's to save face. I don't know if it's because, again, like maybe what the netizens see really truly isn't the reflection of the person. I mean, I doubt that personally, but maybe it isn't. And so these women feel the need to come and justify, well, not justify, but for them to come through so we can see the totality, the picture in its totality. Like, yes, he's got these problems. Maybe he's made this mistake. However, he's not always like that. He's got these other things. And it's fair. It's a fair thing to say because we are not perfect. We all make mistakes and we repetitively make mistakes. So I'm not fully mad at it, but at the same time, I won't lie, it's giving battered wife syndrome. Like, it's just not a good look at all. So for the men watching, just so you know, a wedding toast is one of the most significant moments for a groom. It's not just a speech, it's a declaration of love and commitment. The key to a successful toast lies in sincerity, humor, and a heartfelt appreciation. The groom should focus on gratitude, thanking the family and friends, and especially the bride for the journey that's started and what will come ahead. Personal touches, when you share an authentic story about the relationship that resonates with the audience or your guests. and definitely a vision for the future, where you express hopes and dreams for the life ahead and setting a tone of optimism and love. A well-executed toast cements the emotions of the day and reinforces the vows exchanged. Let's be honest, you are always going to remember this day. Whether it goes well or it doesn't, you're always going to remember. And if you promise the world to your spouse, they're also going to remember that. So it holds you accountable, essentially. So as men, it's time to evaluate what truly matters. Competing with women for validation, seeking approval from other men, and subscribing to toxic ideologies only leads to emptiness, guys. True strength lies in emotional maturity, in the ability to uplift one's partner, and in the commitment to making marriage a sanctuary rather than a battlefield. So for those of you watching from the sidelines, it's critical to remember the internet is not an accurate depiction of people's lives. Sometimes judgment should be replaced with empathy, and relationships should be built with genuine intention rather than social media influence. Only then can we create a culture where love flourishes rather than one where it is constantly under attack. So what's the conclusion? A wedding is a celebration. That means it is a toast, not a roast. If you're a bride, don't ignore the red flags. If your partner has a history of embarrassing you, take it seriously, because love is about lifting each other up, not tearing each other down for a cheap laugh. If you're a groom, ask yourself, do I want to be the guy that made my wife feel like a queen on our wedding day? Or do I want to be the guy whose wedding video is on TikTok with the caption, he's getting divorced in 3 years? Marriage is hard enough. Don't start it with humiliation. If we want modern day relationships to thrive, respect needs to be non-negotiable. So to all the soon-to-be married couples, choose respect, choose love, and for the love of all things holy, choose not to big up yourself and leave your woman standing there, rolling her eyes in shame and embarrassment. That's all I have for you today. Thank you guys for watching this video. As always, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and share if you've seen or experienced wedding day humiliation. What was it like? Like, sis, we want the tea. Also, tag your bride who needs to hear this. And most importantly, let's make weddings about love again, not about who gets the best laugh. Cheerio!
Got it.